This has been a lot of speculation coming out, and it finally happened. Kirk Cousins is officially benched for the rookie Michael Penix Jr. BC, this is your division, man. I know you've been following this a little bit closely, man. What's your thoughts on this?
I called it, man. I knew this kind of crap was. I knew this kind of crap was gonna happen because everyone was like, "Oh, well, the Falcons are gonna win the South. They got Kirk Cousins. They signed him this great deal. It was a genius move getting Penix." Like, no, it was stupid. It was a stupid move to throw that much money at Kirk. And then also, too, it's smart now to draft a quarterback because your dude's flaming out right in front of you. But, I knew something like this was going to happen. Everybody kept lifting up this team and glazing them left, right, and center. And it's like, guys.
That boy said glazing them.
They were, man. How many media pundits, man? Freaking TPS,
that's crazy.
On YouTube at them. I don't care. They were literally saying the Falcons are going to win a division in a landslide, and Kirk is the best quarterback in the division. No, man. It's a smart move. The move they should have done because in the last 4 or 5 games, he's thrown no touchdowns and 8 picks. So it's something that you definitely expect to see. It's just I did not expect to see it maybe this early, but I knew that eventually something was going to happen, and it's I'm just sitting back and I'm just watching the car crash happen. I'm loving every second of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's thrown 9 interceptions the last 4 games compared to 1 touchdown. So exactly. It's been bad. G Mike, I know you were extremely outspoken about the Penix pick whenever they picked him. Does that still feel the same, or is it still a bad move for the Falcons?
I think it is a bad move to start Penix. I don't agree with it at all. Just to go off of what BC said, Kirk Cousins was the best quarterback in this division before he tore his Achilles. Let's be real. He was better than Baker Mayfield 100%. When they brought him in, I do agree with BC as well. I don't think that they should have gave him that much money. He just tore his Achilles, and then you go and give him, what was it, $96 million for 5 years?
No, it was over that much. It was 130.
Well, we'll say 100 million plus, right, for 5 years. Even then, bro, he just tore his Achilles. I would have gave him maybe 2 years, maybe 60. And I'm pretty sure he would have been straight with that with all the money he's already made. Yeah. But whatever, that's near here or there. But just talking about right now, the current events, you're trying to get into the playoffs and you're trying to clinch a divisional championship because, correct me if I'm wrong, they're still in the works to win the division, correct?
There's a 20% chance they can still win.
They're 1 game back. So
and they've won. They own the tiebreaker with the Bucs.
Yeah. They're still in it. Right? You have a quarterback who has shown previous years that he can do what it does to get you into the playoffs. This year, he's been having a bad year. Yes, we're not going to shy away from that. He's been having a bad year, and he's been having a bad last 10 games because they've been 1-9 in the last 10 games, if I'm not mistaken. Now, you want to bring in the rookie quarterback that you drafted in the first round because you think that is your best chance to win this weekend and try to get into the playoffs or clinch the division or whatever the case may be. In my opinion, that is complete bullshit. How do you know that he is the best chance of winning when he hasn't even been out there on the field? Exactly. He hasn't been out there on the field, and now you want to start him? Yep. No, bro. I get it if you want to be like, yo, we're going to give Kirk a chance at the first half. If he's playing like shit, we're going to put in Michael Penix. All right, I understand that. You're giving him an ultimatum like, yo, you need to buckle down and you need to be serious out here. But now you're saying you want to sit your starting quarterback that you paid all this money for.
Yep.
And you thought he was going to bring you to the promised land, which he probably still can. You never know what's going to happen any given Sunday. But now you're taking it away from him, and you're putting in the rookie that hasn't proven shit.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me, dog.
The ghost of Arthur Smith still haunts that team.
Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But
what
do I know? What do I know? I'm from the stands.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if one of us has to take the one stance on it, I think that it's a good game to try this. They're playing the Giants. The Giants are already fighting for the one of the top picks. So you can see what you have in the kid. And according to other reports from ESPN, that the players have all said that Penix is the best player on the field when it comes to quarterback play. So the players have been wanting this for a little while. I think you had to do something because Kirk Cousins has been playing abysmal for the last few weeks. They almost lost to the Raiders. They should have lost to the Raiders. I think the narrative would have been a little bit different if they did lose that game to the Raiders. He's thrown 1 touchdown in 4 games. That's almost unheard of in a league that's designed for people to throw touchdowns, especially quarterbacks in the league. So I understand where you're coming from, though, why you're throwing the kid in there. But I think you have to do something to galvanize the troops, get them going a little bit, and you can always pull him. This isn't a permanent thing. If he plays like crap and he's overwhelmed, then, hey, you see what you got in him, try it another week. But you still have a shot to get in. So that's not saying to the players that, hey, all that rah-rah talk that we could still win, that we could win the division in the beginning of the season, it's still doable. You guys just have to put together a good game. Now, this probably would have been a better Kirk Cousins game because they're playing the Giants, and the Giants, let's face it, are pretty bad this year.
Well,
so gives Kirk one more chance. But I also can, like I was saying before, I can go on the flip side of that to where I can understand why this is the game to try this, because they are one of the worst teams in the league, defensively, offensively. So it gives him a chance to see what you got. I think the bigger question is going to be those people that were saying that he was so crazy that the Falcons were crazy for picking him in the 6th spot. Michael Penix Jr. was one of the top quarterbacks coming out. It still does look kind of silly that they picked him in the 6th spot, but I don't know. It might work out in there. It might work out. And they have to do something pretty soon, too, because that was another weird thing when they drafted him. He's not one of the younger quarterbacks. He's a little bit older for some of the other quarterbacks. So I can understand why they made this move just for the sake of the players that are busting their ass out there for it. So I kind of get the move.
And I would definitely say, too, the way Kirk has been playing this year, again, he's nearly got a 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. That's not good. But
yeah,
again,
it's 18 touchdowns and 16 interceptions.
Exactly. So if like George said though too, like if you got a guy that's fresh off an Achilles injury, why are you signing him? I just saw the contract. 4 years, $180 million. That's 45 on average each year for 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Like, come on. There has to be. I know foresight. Obviously, like it's 2020 or whatever. But like
hindsight.
Yeah. There you go. Hindsight is 2020. That's what it is. But it's like you got to have at least some sort of foresight then to be like, okay, this dude is damaged goods. We're not going to offer him $45 million a year, even if the plan was from the beginning, because you got to think the way teams and organizations draft, that they're not just making stuff up on the fly. They're not just like all of a sudden in the course of a month being like, oh, we're going to draft a quarterback. No, they were thinking long before this that we're going to draft a QB. If that was the case, why sign Kirk Cousins to this kind of money? You could have used that for other positions, or even just got a journeyman quarterback like Ryan Fitzpatrick, the Tua, to mentor him and to get Penix ready in the next year, or even if he takes over in this year. But it's ridiculous that you're signing a mega deal for damaged goods, and you're also going to draft a quarterback. And don't tell me that they adjust or adapt. No, that was the plan before they even signed Cousins. Like, come on.
Yeah, we're going a little bit off topic here, but let's say we put our thinking caps on what the Atlanta Falcons or front office is thinking, right? So right now, I feel, either agree with me or not, but I feel that the way that they're thinking right now is what Steve kind of said. Like, the players feel like Michael Penix Jr. is the best quarterback that can be out there on the field, correct? Because of the stuff that they've seen in practice and in scrimmages, right? But my thing with that is practice and games are completely two different animals. They're not the same. So you have not seen what he can do on the field in a real live action game. And now you want to start him. I agree with what Steve is saying. You got to do something to mix it up, because the way that they've been playing with that offense, that with all those superstars that they got on the offense, the way that they've been playing has been bad. Yes. So you do something, right? Which I feel like you keep Kirk in there. He doesn't show you what you want to see in the first half, then put in Penix. And then you explain to Kirk, we need to try to win to get into the playoffs. These guys want to be in the playoffs. They want to be in the wild card, or they want to be divisional winners, whatever the case may be. We want to get into the playoffs. Right now, this first half, you're playing like complete shit. We're putting in the backup. Sorry, bro. But to be like, we're going to put in the backup to start when he hasn't done shit all year. He hasn't touched the field all year. He hasn't played 1 second of regular season NFL football all year. And now you guys want to start him? I don't see it. I don't see it. But obviously, we're not there in practice. We're not seeing what Penix can do. So hopefully, I'm always in the favor of players being good and doing good out there in the field. So I hope Michael Penix goes out there and he fucking slings that shit out there, no Diddy, and he's fucking winning games and he's throwing touchdowns and he's doing all that crap. Because at the end of the day, if he gets put in there and he plays like shit, they're gonna take him out and his confidence is gonna go like this.
Yep.
Yeah, it's as easy as it sounds. The only way to find out what you got is if you throw him in, I mean, and then you could also go the same avenue with Kirk Cousins as well, of like a guy that's already seems like he's losing his confidence out there. If he starts playing like crap, you pull him for a rookie. What's that say to him as well? So they're just gonna know they're in a no win situation right now because everybody's gonna say the contract, but then he's also playing horrible. I just looked it up as well. His QBR is below Derek Carr and Trevor Lawrence. If that don't tell you how the season's been, it's been a bad season for Kirk Cousins. Real
quick. I thought you were gonna move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say real quick. What I think the issue is that he does not feel comfortable on the Achilles. I feel like he's out there thinking about it a lot. He doesn't move like he used to. He doesn't drop back like he used to. He doesn't step up into the pocket like he used to. He doesn't throw the ball like he used to when you plant off your foot. And I feel like it's because of the whole Achilles thing. And it's like, if that's what's going on, like, dude, you need to like go see a therapist or something because that shit is not going to go away until you feel confident in yourself. That you could go out there and be like, yo, fuck it, bro. If I tear it again, I tear it again. Who cares?
Yep.
I mean, Kirk. The quotes coming out of Kirk Cousins as well about the benching is typical Kirk Cousins fashion. Already said that he is not going to. He's going to support Penix and he's going to show him everything and help him out as much as he can. And I actually do believe that because Kirk Cousins has the reputation of being one of those nicest, humblest, the whole thing guys in the league. So I don't think it's going to be a beef between them two. And Kirk Cousins already said too that the kid can play is what Kirk Cousins was saying as well. So it's going to be a giant. What's that?
The most expensive teacher in America, ladies and gentlemen, is Kirk Cousins.
I would say he's the most expensive backup, but you still got Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Who says you can't? Who says you can't make a living teaching in this country?
Well, that's a whole different conversation that we're not going to get into.
Yeah, that's a whole.
I'm very passionate about that one right there.
Facts.
Yeah.